All right, I'm recording. Okay, so I don't think I know all of you. So if you guys don't know me, I'm Brenda. I've been a coach for it was 3 years in August. I am a lifetime diamond, but currently emerald, working my way back to diamond. It's been a long journey, and it's been nice to see how much the team has grown since I first started. When I started, it was just, Allison was barely getting started, so I've kind of been, next to her as she climbs the ranks, and it's been really cool to see, how hard she's worked and how everything's paid off. So I'm happy to be helping out while she's on her honeymoon this week. So me and Erin are going to kind of tag team this. I'll do like the first 10-15 minutes and she'll finish up, and then if you guys have any questions, just let us know. And if there's something that we don't touch on and you guys are still wondering about, just when I post the recording, just post, in the thread. I know Rhea had asked me to kind of talk about how me and my husband Caesar do the business together. I'm not going to have time for that today, but we would definitely like to do another call maybe later on in the future where both of us are on and we can kind of answer questions for you guys, and let you guys know how we've been able to kind of do it together, how we help each other. I feel like that's a topic all in itself. So I'm going to start with, I kind of wrote some notes. So a lot of people were asking how, kind of to touch base on how to start conversations with people that you don't really know or that you haven't spoken to in a long time. I feel like that's one of the things that newer coaches, well, not newer coaches, I think we all have an issue with, not an issue, but it always feels kind of weird. Like, what do you tell these people? How do I, reach out to them? So if you're working from your list, which you should be, if you're a Chalene Johnson follower, she always talks about your list. And if you don't have a list, you don't have a business. And I think that's something that we're also kind of working on. Some people have it in paper, some people have it on their computer, whatever works for you, that's how you should do it. I started on paper just because my list wasn't very big when I started. It's grown, little by little, and little by little I've transferred it to a spreadsheet, but it's still something that I'm not very consistent with, and I know that I have to work on. So if you don't have a list or it's not very big, that doesn't matter. The point is that you start one, or that at least you have one started. Something that's worked for me, especially this summer, is just reaching out to people that maybe I haven't spoken to in a couple months. Go to their page and check out what they've been up to, if they have kids, if they have family, if they've been on vacations. And when you message them, just say, hey, Stephanie, I see you were in Michigan this summer. How's your summer going? And that's kind of all I've been saying. How's your summer going? And that opens up to a whole conversation like, oh, I've been doing this with my kids, or I went on this vacation. So just be genuine. You don't have to don't reach out to people just with the purpose of, what am I going to sell them? What do I need to, push on them? Because that's not what we're doing. You're just really looking to start a conversation to see what they've been up to. Like, you genuinely care. If you don't care, people kind of feed off of that. I know that I do. I've had people that reach out to me that sell other stuff, that Scentsy stuff, the eyelash stuff, the bag, the 31. So all those people will reach out to me, but they never reach out to me and ask me, how are you? They just kind of put this whole thing like, hey, do you want to be part of my group? This is what I'm doing. And I'm like, I haven't even talked to you in forever. Like, no, I don't want anything to do with your business, because that's you don't really care what's going on in my life. You just want to tell me something. So make sure that you're always leading with, good intentions, that you care about that person, that you want to get to know them more. If it's somebody that maybe you don't know very well, that you just added to your friend list. Morgana posted a video today, a YouTube video about from Simon Sinek, and I kind of listened to most of it. And what he was talking about was kind of relates to what we're talking about tonight. He was just talking about trust. Like, people need to trust you before they even listen to what you have to say. If they don't trust you, they're not going to want to be part of your challenge group, or want to get to know you more, and want to know what you do for your business. So make sure that you're building that relationship. Something that we've learned from Christina Sullins is that, she makes friendship first and then business comes later. So you may be doing all the right things. You may be talking to people. You may be adding people to your list. You may be inviting people, and you may only have 2 Success Club points. That's totally fine. Don't get so caught up on the points. I know when I started, that was a huge struggle for me. And to be honest, I didn't get any points for the first 6 months that I was a coach. because I absolutely knew nothing. I was doing a lot of wrong things, and I learned from them. But it does get discouraging, but at the same time, having Allison and having Stephanie came on board and Erin came on board around the same time. So then we kind of, built this little community where we help each other out. And you learn as you go. And sometimes there was only, months where I only reached Success Club 2, or, the first couple of times that I reached Success Club 5, I wanted to like throw a party because it was awesome. And after that, you get more comfortable. Another thing that helped me was investing in myself. I went to a Danny Johnson event, which was, I think, 2 or 3 days. But in the whole seminar, she talks about, growing your business. And I bought some of her stuff. One of them was a script book. And I still have it. And I've read it a couple times. It's not very big. But if you guys want to learn or want to get better at knowing what to say to people, invest in these books. Books that we're, telling you guys to read. We're suggesting them because they've worked for us. Another thing that's worked is a GoPro book. This thing is like all marked up because there's so much good stuff in here. And I know that scripts are a little weird to use because you don't feel comfortable because you feel like they don't sound like you. They don't sound like you because you've never used them before. So take a script, tweak it to make it, personalized to you, and then send it out. But I can tell you this, I'm a very introverted person. And when I started reading this, I was like, there's no way that I'm going to message these people with that script because they're going to know that it's not me, or they're going to know that, what is she, doesn't sound like her, but they didn't, and it worked. And this is how I was able to hit Success Club 5 for, I don't know how many months in a row. I've missed a couple here and there, but ever since I actually plugged into what what the leaders were telling us to do, that's when my business started to change. So don't be afraid, and give it a try. And like I said, if you need to personalize it a little bit. Obviously, you don't have to copy it from the book and paste. You can change words around. You don't have to make it so long. But for every situation or every scenario that someone can say no to you, there's an answer in this book as far as how to answer to that person, and kind of work your way into the conversation. And another thing that's helped me too is learning about personalities. One of the books that I read for that was Personality Plus. Also, Danny Johnson's Gems. You want to learn the different personalities of people because once you can kind of tell the type of person that you're talking to, it's easier for you to be able to communicate with them when you know, okay, this person is a total extrovert when you're an introvert, or this person is an introvert if you're an extrovert, and it's easier to communicate. Those help me a lot, in the business as well as personal relationships. You get to know a lot about yourself and a lot about the people that you're working with. And you'll learn that likes attract likes. So a lot of the coaches that are on my team are almost the same personality than me. Maybe a little bit different here and there, but for the most part, we're all the same. So it's not a surprise. It's because like-minded people attract the same. So invest in these books, get to know a little bit about yourself and other people, and it's going to help you with the business and how to start conversations. Is there anything you wanted to add, Erin, on that topic?
Yes, that actually made me think of something. When you're talking about like attracting like, I think that's totally true. But I think one thing to really get in your mind, I'm also a total introvert. I grew up extremely shy. And it's something that you can change about yourself. You're maybe not going to go from a complete shy introvert to an outgoing extrovert. But like Brenda's saying, her team, a lot of them are very similar to her. A lot of my existing team is similar to me. But I'm finding that the more I'm challenging myself to change those things about myself, my team is also changing that. I've still got those extreme introverted shy people, but now I'm starting to attract people that are more emulating what I want to be based on me trying to put myself more in that light. So I think that's just a good reminder that like attracts like, but you can attract what you want to.
Very true. Yeah. So that was one of the things. Another thing is also a lot of times when you're, for newer coaches, you see all these other established coaches on our team or on other teams, and we tend to compare ourselves to them. And you don't want to, compare your chapter 1 to their chapter 5. That's how you become overwhelmed. Like, you see all these people with like pages and websites, and then you feel like you have to do it. You don't have to do none of that. What you have to do is make sure you're drinking your Shakeology and doing your workout, inviting people to your challenge groups and business, and reading your personal development. If you do those 3 things, and I know you guys hear this all the time, but really, those are the things that are going to build your business. Forget about the like page. That'll come later once you're more established. If you have the time to do it, go for it, you know, but a lot of times we tend to focus on these other bigger things versus focusing on the very little stuff that is really what's going to make a difference in your everyday, you know, life and your everyday part, you know, to grow your business. So make sure that put the blinders on sometimes and, you know, not forget about, but don't be so harsh on yourself. Don't feel like you have to be doing what Stephanie or with Erin or with what I'm doing. You know, we're all at different stages in our business, and we all have different times that we are able to work our business. You know, some people have more time than others, and that gives them a little bit more free time to do certain things compared to others. But when you only have an hour or 30 minutes to work your business, those 3 vital behaviors are what really you should be focusing on. And I think that's what I have. Yeah, but most importantly is that trust. I really like that video that Morgana shared. So if you guys have time, make sure you watch it. I think it's 30 minutes, but Simon Sinek was at Summit, and I really enjoyed his speech, and it was very relatable. And the video that Morgana posted totally made sense about, you know, earning somebody's trust before you can, you know, listen to them. You know, a lot of times we're always recommending stuff to people, you know, like, oh, you should go, you know, eat here. But if it's a total stranger that's telling me, hey, you should go eat here, am I going to listen? Probably not, because I don't know them. If it's a friend, hey, I was here on Friday, you know, it was so awesome. The food was good. I'm probably going to go there in a week or 2. Same thing with, you know, shoes or makeup and stuff like that. We're always listening to our friends because we trust them, not necessarily. Sometimes we go get the stuff, we don't need them, but we still go because it's our friend that told us about it and because we have trust in them. So always lead with that when reaching out to other people. I'm going to toss it over to Erin now.
Okay. So I'm Carolyn, or Erin, for those of you that don't know me. I'm one of Stephanie DieHart's old name. I'm one of Stephanie's pretty original coaches. I started about 2.5 years ago. So I am currently an Emerald coach and have been fighting for Emerald or for Diamond forever and just haven't really got there. So what I want to talk about is a couple things. The first is getting to Emerald. And what always used to frustrate me a lot of the time was that you hear coaches say that it's so easy to get to Emerald and it's so easy to maintain Emerald. And I do believe that that's true, because it really is just 2 people. And then when I heard people saying Diamond, it's basically just repeating it. I'm like, not really. But what I will say is, for those of you that are in any way serious about this business, which I'm going to assume the majority of you are by being on this call tonight. So thank you for getting on here. And then of you that are just unsure if this is for you, just want you to know that it's okay to question if this is the right fit for you, whether you're 3 weeks in, 3 years in, or even more. You know, that we're all going to have these times where we question if this is right for us or not. But I think long term, this is the right place for you. You're here for a reason. And whether that's just to be around a great community of people that are here to support you in your journey towards your health, and whether that's that you want to have $1 million business or be a stay-at-home mom or dad, you're in the right place. There's a reason. And I think with that said, it's very important that you get to Emerald. If you have a spouse, sign up your spouse. If you don't have a spouse, I'm starting to really read into like signing up your best friend or somebody in your family and working their account and how that benefits someone. Because for me, I'm single, so signing up a spouse and keeping them active is not a possibility for me. But I do see that there's a greater potential in having that second account underneath you as the first person, that you are able to control the income there. You know, by having a person underneath you who's staying active, then you're getting that Team Cycle bonus. And I think that's the huge thing with Emerald, is that you're going to get the Team Cycle bonuses. And if you're Emerald and getting Success Club, you are getting the free leads, which are huge, because those are people that are going to, you know, create that residual income for you. They're people that potentially could be long-term customers or coaches on your team. I know Rhea was asking, like, how do you help your downline get to Emerald? And I think that sort of goes back to creating awesome challenge groups and really making your customers your focus. I think it's the same thing for coaches and customers. You have to really dig into what it is that they're looking for. Why are they here? Are they just wanting a fun community and accountability? Are they looking to pay off debt? Like, really understanding what it is that is driving them to connect with you in the first place, and how can you help them really tap into that. You know, a lot of the time we hear your why should make you cry. And like for me, you know, I'm single, I don't have kids. I've always sort of felt like my why, when I compare it to others, is selfish, and that makes me feel horrible. So I try not to compare my why of wanting to be debt-free and feeling financially secure for myself to someone who wants to be there for their children's recitals, or, you know, leave things for really great and noble, quote unquote, things, whereas I'm just working for myself. But I think that that's okay to do, and you just have to ignore what other people's why are and really focus on what's driving you and what's driving the people that you're connecting to. The other thing I want to talk about is success partnership and just sort of getting yourself to do things. So I really struggle with getting myself to stay focused on something for more than 5 or 10 minutes at a time. I haven't really shared this with the team before, but I've always battled ADD. So I can get really excited for about 5 or 10 minutes, and then I fizzle out. So for me to do a power hour, that just doesn't work. I have to do a much smaller time, and I have to focus right in on what I need to do. So for me, what really helped was finding a success partner who's local, and we meet twice a week, and we set 10 goals for that day. And so like if we meet up after work, we have a goal before we go to bed that night of 10 things. And, you know, a lot of the time it's do your workout, do your personal development, but then it's starting those conversations. And that's what really helps me stick with it, is knowing that I have a deadline, I have someone who's holding me accountable, and I have just a small chunk that I have to do. With success partners, you know, I've had people across the country. I've been with people in my current team and in a different team. And I think there's great value in really anyone that you connect with, but be open to connecting with people on other teams. You know, my local success partner here that we met at the local Super Saturday. She's on a different team, and we have our own little Facebook group that just the two of us are in there for us to share different trainings from her team and my team and things that we find. And I found that really has helped me. You know, I haven't seen this tremendous financial growth in my business. I haven't seen coaches explode in my business. But what I've really seen is my personal development has increased, and my confidence has increased. And when I look back to like a year ago versus now, I can see the strides that I've made and can see where continuing that is what's going to drive my business. You know, it's just staying consistent with those little things and finding what system works for you and how you can best apply yourself, basically. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys, or if you have any questions.
Yeah, I think success partners are really important. And like you said, you can have multiple people, and some people it won't work out. Me and you tried being partners, and that didn't work out because me and you are the same.
Exactly. We can't push each other when we're too similar.
Sometimes you need someone that's totally opposite from you because they're going to be on your ass, and sometimes that's what you need. So, you know, if you do have a success partner and things aren't going well, so it's totally fine. Just say, hey, you know, we're probably too alike, or, you know, we're not being very consistent with each other. So maybe we should try to find other success partners that will push us and get us to where we want to be. And it's nothing personal. It's just, you know,
right. It's not like we're not friends anymore.
But yeah, that definitely helps. And I like that you have somebody local. I know that not all of our coaches are in Chicago, but like she said, don't be afraid to reach out to people from other teams. I know for Chicago, we have a Team Chicago page. So all the coaches from Chicago are on there. They're not all necessarily from Dream Extreme or Ignited Nation, but it's nice to connect with other people that are doing the same thing. And yeah, there's trainings from all these other teams. And sometimes, you know, you may hear things multiple times and it won't click until you hear it from the right person. So right. A lot of times you guys will hear us say the same stuff, but sometimes you'll be able to relate to somebody better than other people. That's why that's why I like going to Summit. It's a total game changer. And talking about live events, if you haven't registered for the next Super Saturday or Sunday, make sure you do it. It's I think less than a month out, October 18th, I think. I know ours is October 18th.
Yeah.
I think it's
ours is the 11th, I think.
Okay. So it's in the back office. If you go to your back office under events, you should be able to find a listing. But if you guys need help finding yours, let us know, and we can try to figure out where it is. But yes, events are so important. Talking about trust, when you're in the same place with all these other people that feel and are doing the same thing that you, it's completely different than having, a Zoom call or being on the phone or being on Facebook. You're going to feel different about this, and you'll really know if this is for you or if this is not for you. So I highly recommend, if you haven't done one, to do it. It may just change your business. So make sure that you don't be afraid. If you don't know anybody, don't be afraid. Nobody's going to look at you weird or be mean to you. I promise you that. The people that are in this business are amazing.
And just like you're saying, just go up to random people and introduce yourself and ask what team they're on or who's their upline coach, see if you recognize the names. It's a great way to get to know people, and really for the more shy or introverted people, it's a great safe environment to start testing the waters and starting new conversations, or can I run this script past you and see how that goes? Nobody's going to judge you there. Yeah, you're not going to make a sale there, but unless you bring somebody with you who's going to become a coach. But it's a way to be able to test that without that fear of the rejection.
Yes, and you can usually bring guests, so that's a good time also to bring somebody that may have been on the fence. Mm-hmm. They're surrounded by all these people. They're kind of like in already, so it's a good way, and they're free. So
if you get them there, it's pretty much a slam dunk, because why would you not just sign up just to be part of the fun at that point?
Yeah. I'm going to unmute everybody, so if you guys have any questions, go ahead and let us know. Okay, everybody's unmute, so we don't have a lot of time left, but any questions?
Yeah, so I'm excited. Are you,
I have a question. Erin, you talked about signing up. Sorry, this is Sarah. You could barely see me.
Yes.
But you talked about signing up a family member on their account. Have you done that, or does anyone else has done that? I don't have a spouse either, so I'm trying to convince. I think I could get my sister to do it, but she doesn't want to use any products is the problem. So to keep her active, has anyone done that before?
I have. Did you? I don't know if you heard me. Did you hear me?
I did. I heard.
Okay.
Can you share how? Do you just buy through their account?
My husband is one of my coaches, and when he was drinking the shakes, we were both getting the Shakeology HD, and we were both drinking it. Now he stopped drinking it for a little while, so we got a little bit backed up for it. So now what I do is I will order things through his account to keep him active, which I think is at 50 TV. And I'll either get Shakeology packets that I can sell to people as samples, or I will do it to me to be able to try new things like the Performance line and the Shakeology Boost and gifts for coaches or anything like that. So it's worked for me.
Yeah. So
does it work if it's go ahead.
Oh, sorry, Sarah. What I was going to say, what sort of triggered it for me to start thinking more outside the box was, I don't know if you're familiar with Rob and Chelsea Pearson, but Rob has an account underneath him, a coach account that he set up for his father before his father passed away, and he still is using his father's account to remain active and to put people underneath that to keep him active. And then he's collecting the checks. So I've got my friend that I meet with every week. She's part of his team, so she's trying to give a little more clarification on how that works. Because I was really confused, especially once he said that his father was deceased. And
that's insane.
So that really threw me. So once I find out a little more about how that's working and how he really has that set out, I'll definitely share that, because I think that would be really helpful.
I mostly wonder because, does it work if the person, if you have a different address?
Mm-hmm.
So, well, if you have, if there's like Sarah and her husband, they at least pay from the same, you can pay for two people that you live two other people, but you have to live with them.
Yeah, that's
my
what I
question-
mean. Like,
So
yeah, like,
Mike, I can, when like Mike wasn't drinking, like just so I could write stuff off for myself, I'll pay for, because we still have separate accounts. So I'll pay for his products so like that I can write those off. And like if like my mom lived with me, I could technically pay for her stuff. But where it's different addresses, she would have to pay for stuff on her
right.
on her credit card.
Right.
So
right.
Chris and I both have the same address and we both use the same bank account, but we have different Beachbody accounts.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think it's the address part, right?
Yeah, the address has
Yeah.
You can
Because
change
nobody else lives with me. It's just me. So,
it's like it's like U+2 it's called. So like you can pay for two other people as long as you're in the same address.
Oh, really?
right.
Cool. So let's.
Yeah.
So I couldn't like sign up my sister and then use her account
No, because when Mike and I
To
didn't live
send
together,
for
I tried to
quality.
or something, and it says your credit card has to be the name of the coach,
They live.
Got
unless they were
unless
in
the
your-
address is the same
Yeah,
or something. Okay.
yeah.
I'm so confused with what you're talking about.
I went into the like when I wasn't sure how it worked, but if you go into the FAQs and you put in like U+2, I think, then
Yeah.
you can see. But yeah, if like you were thinking you wanted to have your sister sign up and you would pay for her stuff, so she wouldn't have to pay for it, but she'd be
Yeah.
a coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yep.
that won't,
It won't work.
because I'd be doing that.
Well, I just like I keep trying to tell she would do it, but she doesn't. She tried Shakeology. She doesn't like it.
Yeah,
She
it's my
doesn't
sister.
really-
It's my sister too.
she's like, I'm like, what about I tried to like her and selling. I'm trying to text to her or her husband on the performance line. I'm like, seriously, you would like this stuff if you
Yeah.
try. But
My sister does CrossFit and stuff, so I was trying to get her into the performance line, but she just started doing Roda and Field, so whatever.
yay for you.
At least it's all good. But yeah,
Ugh,
I wanted to
okay.
at least sign her up under me,
Ragnar,
just to help, or sign her up under Mike actually, just to like get his account going. But
Yeah.
yeah,
All right.
unless they're
So
same with like my mom. I was like, we want to like help them pay for stuff if they don't always want something every month. But
Like my mom would do it just to help me, but I'm like, you don't want to do this. She doesn't want to drink Shakeology. So
yeah,
I don't want you to have this log of stuff you're not going to drink.
I think the way
Yeah.
that I'm understanding Rob was doing it was he had his father underneath him, and he was keeping his father active by doing his Shakeology for that. So that coach, his father, was maintaining 50 PB, and then he obviously had other customers and coaches on that side to keep his 90 PB
Right.
up.
yeah,
And then I think that he was just having the billing and the address go to him because he was ultimately drinking the Shakeology, and his father was more just like a placeholder. But then I was a little concerned about compliance, and obviously
yeah. That's
I
not really
researched it, but I'm like, gotta research that myself too.
yeah.
Interesting.
13 now.
All right. Sorry to monopolize the conversation.
It's okay.
Good question.
Fitness.
Any other questions? I mean, we got 8 minutes left.
Erin, you've shared some good videos from like your friend or whatever with Chelsea
Yeah.
and that whole other team.
No,
I think it's great to try to find success partners on other teams because everyone learns different stuff.
So in August, I ended up closing to take care.
That would be Jen again, I think.
So funny.
Not talking to us.
So,
She's not at all.
I agree. I mean, I know like Brenda was saying, you know, a lot of the stuff we hear constantly over and over, but I think it's just a different style and a different way that we all learn.
Yeah,
You know, that's you have to hear it from somebody else for it to make sense. And
right.
Yeah.
you know,
All right, guys, if there's no more questions, I am going to stop recording.
go on.
and then